Hello and welcome back. It's Don Foster, known as the Brickman, and thank you for watching a series of videos that we've been doing on all kinds of things associated with brick, staining specifically, and we'll get into a lot of other things. We actually are starting a little series, Ask the Brickman, and we've been getting questions, all kinds of questions from all over, especially since the magazine articles came out, and then we started doing a show with Occasion Contractor. We have a TV show with him, and we also have a radio show that we do monthly with him. And that has brought just a ton of attention and questions, and we want to try to help and answer as many as we can. Sometimes it's just a helpful hint or a suggestion that we've experienced, and it's not really selling anything. But one of the things we want to talk about today is Limepops. And this is kind of associated and helpful with the chips. A lot of times the same chip kit, if you purchase a custom chip kit from me, from the Chips of the Brick, we also have one for, the same one can be used for fixing a lime pop. So let me talk a little bit about a lime pop. Here's a lime pop on a brick. And what happens is they try to control it when they quarry. The manufacturers will control it when they grind as fine as they can, and they make all the possible lime pop chip itself as small as it can. It doesn't hurt anything. But sometimes a hole in the screen or something happens that the lime pop, and it just comes from the ground, just the clay and the brick and everything else to make the brick come out of. It gets close to the surface, and what happens is it creates a little crater and a little chip in the brick. And we've been fixing these for as many years as I can remember, over 25 years, okay? A lot of it is, you think about, I'll give you an example, the manufacturer tries to control the lime pops, or a pyrite pop, which is a black version of the white one. It's another type of a rock. What happens is, if you think in the hand a rock the size of your fist, okay? If it gets through and it gets into the machine, it starts getting broken up, that rock will make thousands and thousands and thousands of little pieces of rock. And if it's big enough and gets close to the surface, what happens in the firing stage, the lime will get really shrink and get tight. And after the brick's fired, what happens is any moisture starts getting in the brick, it starts expanding, you will see that expansion happen with a great force, and it'll pop a little, you see that's a little chip off the face of the brick. It actually just pops it right off the brick. And it creates a chip in the brick that is not always desirable. So we have a way to fix it. I'm gonna have a lot of just pictures for you, instructional things, but what I'm gonna do, a lot of times when it chips and come trips, we just be a little bit safe, we put some safety glasses on. But basically, we use a small screwdriver, or we use, in this case, a small chisel. And what we do is we really wanna just dig into the chip, the actual lime pop itself, and you see that powder? I don't know if you can see that powder real good that's in there. But what happens is, think about an ice cream cone shape, okay? When that lime pop starts to grow and expand, it kind of gives you a cone, a little bit of a mountaintop, and it pops that chip off. What we want to do is we want to break off the crest of that, because it's kind of hard. We break off the crest, we make it softer, we brush that powder out, okay? And then we take a stain, and we'll dot that actual lime pop and soak into it and change the color of it so it's less noticeable. And sometimes the same color that we hit that with, we'll actually fill in the chip itself with, okay? Sometimes we might create another color for the actual pop itself, and then we'll have another color to fix the chip with. Sometimes we get to that degree and try to get it to where it's the best it possibly can. So this is just a little example of some things, and we'll have a lot more information. But a lime pop, again, physically it doesn't really hurt the brick. Aesthetically it does in many cases, especially depending on if it's an eyesore when you're walking in the entrance of a house or around a property or a back patio where people might see them a lot. We can fix them, we've colored them. We have some proof and evidence that we've done it for years that go way back in time. The only problem that you have where lime pops don't work out well is if you don't take time and pop off the top of it. And you gotta take time when you gotta stain the whole chip. Now what happens on your job or your house, especially new construction, if you see lime pops, most of them probably have popped to a degree, but maybe the chip hasn't fallen yet. So sometimes you gotta look for that. We might have some pictures to show you when Logan puts this together, that he has a couple where we go find it where the chip is still on, it just hasn't fallen yet. Usually over a year, most of them have fallen. Most of them have, you can take care of it. But sometimes we go to jobs and we take care of the line pops, and we might be asked to come back to fix a few more just because a few more have popped since we've been there. But we kind of walk around and look for something where we see that the brick has been starting to crack, the chip is ready to fall, and we might just help it fall, and then we go in and fix the chip while we're there. So I hope that's helpful on line pops. It's kind of what we've experienced over the years with them. They are fixable, repairable. Some of the questions that they said asked the Brickman was, do you guys drill the line pop out and refill it with something? That was one of the questions that you came to me. I don't know anything about that. I can't imagine that that's a good solution, but maybe there is, and maybe someone knows a little more about that than I do. But for us, we just break off that top of that cone off of the line pop. We just brush it out, clean out that dust, and then we actually take an artist brush, and we have different types of artist brushes, and we'll actually stain the line pop itself, and then we'll fill in and stain the chip, and we'll make it a lot less noticeable. We'll have a lot of examples for you to show. You have any questions? Keep emailing me like you have been. I sure appreciate the emails. I appreciate the attention. I really do. And if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you. But if we can help you, we will. This is Don Foster, the Brickman, Masonry Cosmetics. Thank you for watching.